Good morning. It is Wednesday, March the 8th. This is my 21st day back on the trail. And last night was my second coldest night since I've been on the trail. I think it got down to 27 degrees. I stayed comfortable. I have a 0-degree sleeping quilt as opposed to a sleeping bag, and it pretty much kept me comfortable through the night. The problem with the quilt is they do sort of breathe a little bit. There's sort of trade-offs with a quilt versus a sleeping bag. A sleeping bag, like a mummy bag, they confine you a lot, and they have insulation on the bottom that's not really doing you a whole lot of good because it's compressed. And so I've read that a lot of hikers are going to sleeping quilts because you get all the insulation on top of you, so you're not carrying all that weight of insulation. It does you no good underneath. Plus, it's less restrictive, and it doesn't, if you want to sit up, it's not an ordeal to sit up during the night. So, but the drawback to it, though, is it doesn't sort of wrap your body well, and it allows air to breathe underneath. I have figured out, though, how to sort of cinch it up and where the edges tuck underneath me, because it does have a foot box, and so I have my feet down in that foot box, and then I pull up against it, and it sort of tightens up around my sides. So I do pretty good with it. And I did good last night. When it gets that cold, you have to sleep with your water filter and your electronics, which I did. I'm gonna switch the camera around. Okay, I have to switch the camera around forward where you can see where I'm going through looking at my face. And you have to sleep with your electronics. This morning, when I got up, I got up later than I normally do. It was probably a little bit before 7, and I just started throwing things together and getting in my bag, getting in my backpack, and getting going. I didn't eat what I normally eat for breakfast, so I'll have to stop a little later when it warms up and my oatmeal and a couple other things. I didn't bring any snacks readily available, so I'll have to take my pack off just to get a snack. But I just wanted to get going so that I could stay warm, because if you don't keep moving, you don't stay warm. So I'm about 8 miles out from Damascus right now, and so right now that's my goal, is just to make it to Damascus. Probably stop by the Appalachian Trail Conservancy office there, and I will also go to one of the hostels and get checked in for tonight. That's all for now. Well, here we are at the Tennessee-Virginia state line. Another milestone, and again, a little sad. I'm glad to be making progress, but it's also a little sad because, when I was in Georgia, I've lived just 15 miles from the Georgia state line. I have in-laws that live in Georgia. I have a close connection to Tennessee. Don't have as much of a connection with Virginia, so I'm getting further away from home, and this sort of signifies it. I know Virginia still borders my state, but I've just never really had a lot of reason to come up to Virginia other than when I used to go to NASCAR races, and I would go to Bristol, which the track is in Tennessee, but it's so close to Virginia that we would go up into Virginia then. But mostly I've not spent a whole lot of time in Virginia, and I'm just sort of getting further from home. When I was hiking Georgia, I was hiking towards home, but you know, I've had people ask me, you know, why didn't you consider going southbound, and that way you would be hiking mostly towards home the whole time? And I really did like that idea. It appeals to me. But there are two main obstacles for me that just made it that I didn't want to try to do that. One was I'm not that seasoned of a hiker, and you really need to be a seasoned hiker to go southbound, to start at Katahdin. And as quick as you come off of Katahdin, you're facing the 100-mile wilderness, and then, you know, you've got other parts of Maine, and then you're going to go into New Hampshire and the White Mountains. And it's a big undertaking for someone who is not already a seasoned hiker, which I'm still not. Now, by the time I get up there over the next few months, I will, I don't know that I'll be a seasoned hiker, but I'll have my systems dialed in, and I'll be in a better position to be able to face the mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire and the 100-mile wilderness of Maine and all that. So, you know, that's the biggest reason why I chose to not go southbound. And then another reason why I chose to not go southbound is because the hiking season for southbounders doesn't start till June, and I didn't want to wait till June. So that's why I didn't do it. I also had people ask me, why didn't you section hike it? Why didn't you choose to just section hike the whole trail? And I knew very clearly why I didn't want to do that. I'm just now getting trail legs. I've been on the trail 3 weeks now, and I'm just now getting trail legs, and they will serve me. Now, when I say trail legs, I'm talking about trail legs, trail lungs, trail feet. I'm past the blister stage now, and if I got off the trail for a few weeks or months and went back and did another section, it'd be like starting all over again with the trail legs, unless I could continue with some kind of a regimen. But there's no exercise regimen that can possibly prepare you to through hike the Appalachian Trail. And I've talked to section hikers that, you know, it kicks their butt for the first couple of weeks getting back on the trail. So that's why I have chosen not to section hike. So another comment about Virginia. Most people know that most people that know about the trail know that Virginia, it has the highest number of trail miles of any state, over 500. It will take me more than 5 weeks before I cross another state line, and that'll be at West Virginia. But if I can make it that far, I won't be real far from the halfway point, which I also know that people say that when you make the halfway point of the Appalachian Trail, it's not really half the effort, because the bulk of the effort is in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And I know that to be true. But I guess psychologically it will be nice to be halfway through. I'm getting close to being a fourth of the way through the trail right now. Just to let you know what I'm doing, in about 2 miles I'll be walking into Damascus, Virginia, and I had planned on taking a couple of 0 days here, and my wife is coming to see me and we'll spend a little bit of time together, because this will be the last opportunity that'll be reasonable for her to be able to drive to me and see me until maybe during spring break, and for her, and hopefully by then I'll be close to Shenandoah. Not exactly sure, but maybe close. But I actually made it to Damascus. I'm making it to Damascus a day earlier than we had planned, and so I'm going to stay the night at a hostel, probably the Broken Fiddle, and get up in the morning and see if I can get one of those outfitters that take bicyclists up to the top of the mountain for the Virginia Creeper Trail, because the Appalachian Trail's up there. The Appalachian Trail don't completely follow the Virginia Creeper Trail, but up there at that highest point of the Virginia Creeper Trail, the Appalachian Trail is there. So it's about 15 miles back into Damascus. So tomorrow, I'm hoping, if I can work everything out, I'm going to slack pack back into Damascus so I won't have 3 0 days in a row. So that is my plan, but I will be. So today is Wednesday, and so Thursday I hope to do the slack pack I just described, and then Friday and Saturday will be 0 days, and I'll get to spend some time with my wife, and I think we're going to stay at Lady Di's in Damascus those 2 nights. And then she'll take me back up to the top of the Virginia Creeper Trail and set me out there, and I'll continue on my trek Sunday morning. So that is the plan. That is a good sight up ahead. Just mostly flat, level trail without a lot of rocks and roots. That's a hiker's dream right there. I've been asked how many miles I've done since I've been back on the trail, and I've done 228 miles since I've been back, and then prior to that I'd done 241.5 miles. So all total, I have done 470 miles on the Appalachian Trail.